Moving forward, Sage, when you look at where broadcasting is, when you look at where media is, and you look at people just being able to blatantly lie, like just stand up there and lie. You went to journalism school. You worked your way up the old-fashioned way. Intern, carrying the camera, writing a story, making sure you got it right. How frustrating is modern journalism for you?
It's frustrating on another level. And, I think there's a difference between sports media and news media, and especially when you start to bring politics in and stuff. But it's interesting just how the headlines are written, and it's all for clicks, and it gets you in, I guess. And you read it and you're like, wait, this doesn't back up the headline at all. There's just really no accountability with it. And that's a word that I just grew up with, that I was really forced to understand and then live it. And now as a parent trying to do the same thing, there's no accountability. And there's no, people have, they have the ability, actually. They're choosing to not kind of be in the middle with how we tell a story as a journalistic platform, whatever it is, a TV network, news, print, whatever. They're choosing to take sides. And so I say to my kids, the older one is a junior in college, and she's like, what do I read if I want to stay up on things? What do I read? I was like, I don't know what to tell you to read, because you think you can't trust anything, and for good reason. So I'm like, take a little bit over here, a little bit over here. Then let's talk. Let's try to figure out what your opinion is on it and why. It's sad. It's come a very, very long way. I wouldn't change anything about, starting back in the dark ages. There was no internet, right? And you went out and got the story by interviewing players and coaches and building up that trust, because if you misquoted them or did something that was unethical, guess what? They would cut you off. They'd make sure everybody else in the locker room would cut you off too, and you deserved it. So I miss those days, and I just think that probably the popularity of the internet and social media, that's the biggest reason in the change for me,
When, Coach Knight made me go find his hunting dog a year after I'm starting at guard for him. The next year, I'm like out in the middle of Linton, Indiana, I didn't do it. I didn't want to, so I faked it. But anyway, so I get it. Those are the days that build you. Those are the days that make you. As you move forward in your career, and you just mentioned, hey, look, I'm talking to a lot of people. I guarantee you every network or every whatever is offering you jobs, wanting to talk to you, wanting to reach out, agent, have lunch, have dinner, whatever. When you look at yourself and you say, okay, I've been in sports, how political will you get in your next forum?
I don't listen. The reason I chose sports is because there's so much positivity. And I said when I was 11 years old, I wanted to do this because what I felt at a young age, I didn't even fully comprehend it, but enough at 11 years old to realize, wow, look at this football Sunday. You got 80,000 people in a stadium, black, white, green, blue, different religions and politics. Nothing mattered. We all came together for those 3 hours on a Sunday. And I wanted to be a part of that. That has not changed. That's one reason why I absolutely loved SportsCenter until my very last day a couple of weeks ago. Dan, you know that. You saw me, and no matter what was going on legally or everything else, when I was on, I had the best co-host as well with Matt Berry. There's arguably nobody more talented and versatile, probably underappreciated as well. Matt Berry is incredible, and we had a blast because we appreciated what it was and still is sports. And that's something that brings people together. So I don't want to focus just on politics. I think there are issues that are political that I would love to have a take on. But there's so much more out there, frankly, that's more positive and not divisive. I have a lot of things I'm excited to talk about, personal stuff and parenting and, relationships and how those relationships change through the years as your life changes. There's so many more important things that I have shared in some spaces. And whenever I go, how about race, right? And the whole biracial topic with me. I'm not afraid to go anywhere, even areas where that have been maybe painful for me in my personal and professional life. Because I found that every time we go deeper on things that make us uncomfortable, I would hear from people I'll never meet, who said, oh my gosh, thank you. I don't feel as alone. What I said on Megyn Kelly about biracial and how I'm proud of both my white side and my black side. Like that's a topic that people don't touch. And I don't know why. Like I want to go there and talk about those things that I think really, really matters. The key is that they're conversations, conversations, not yelling or talking at people. I get my feelings hurt easily, to be honest with you. I hide it well. So I don't like yelling and screaming, but I do appreciate passionate, respectful conversations. And I'm a positive, happy person. Life is good, if we choose to focus on the good. So I don't know, Dan, but I'm excited to continue to find my voice with things that are a little bit outside the box because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid anymore. We're humans, we're not just journalists.
To your point, you're a compassionate person. I'm kind of deep down very compassionate, but externally not so much. But I saw Mitch McConnell yesterday, and you commented on that. I'm sitting there going, Sage, I always equate everything to my dad or my mom. I don't want my dad out there like that. I mean, what are we doing? Like, where are we at with this?
I've been saying that for a couple of years. I interviewed Joe Biden. I want to say it was April of, he had just started, so 2021, for SportsCenter. And I remember at that moment being sad because I felt like the leader of the free world he didn't sound good. He didn't sound healthy, the pauses, and it broke my heart. I don't care if he's a Democrat or Republican. Who cares? He's a human being. And to see what we're seeing with him and with Mitch McConnell, I turn away, Dan. I can't watch those videos because I just picture that being someone that I love. And then I'm like, where's your wife? Where's your daughter? Where's your son? Where's the people that love you? Sometimes we have to protect each other from ourselves. And that's what I don't see happening. I don't understand. And I don't want to speculate as to why. All I know is that, number one, it's not good for the country if you're in a leadership position. We need you to be able, frankly, to do the job. But more importantly, the human aspect of this, you're allowing people to, in front of the world, it's just heartbreaking and it's not okay. And you look and you say, okay, term limits, yes, term limits, all those things. But sometimes there are episodes or, sicknesses that happen, when you're in your 40s or 50s. It's called compassion and remembering what we're all about, which is that human aspect in the family, not our jobs. And that's why I can't watch it. I can't. It's not okay. And I'm very sad for the politicians right now who are in the spotlight without others protecting them.
Are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?
Me?
Yeah.
First person who's ever asked me that publicly. It's none of your business what I am, Dakich. None yet. Here's the thing.
I'm gonna tell you why I asked that. Sure.
1988, high school civics class, the election. I came home from school. I lived in Colorado Springs, Colorado. My dad was stationed at Fort Carson. Came home and I said, Mom, Dad, the election's coming up. Who are you going to vote for? My mom looked at me and said, none of your business. And I was like, what? What do you mean? She's like, no. I have my opinions. Dad has his opinions. We want you to put your own opinion. So it doesn't matter who we vote for or why. We'll talk about the issues. I want you to form your why, your opinion. And at the end of the day, the issues are the most important thing. I think it's probably obvious just on my stance on some things. I definitely lean right with many issues, but not all of them. I don't think that it defines who I am, by saying D or R or I in the middle, right? But I loved what my mom said to me. She's like, don't worry about it. What do you believe? And then let's live that way.
I'll tell you why. That's a great answer. I'll tell you why I asked, all right? Because I think blind loyalty to one party is weakness and stupidity. I grew up Gary, Indiana, Democrat town. My father was a lobbyist for the teachers union, Democrat lobby. And that's cool. It's all good. And my dad taught me the same thing. He goes, look, think your own thoughts. So I ask people, because once you don't, and this is my opinion, you may not share it. Once you don't side with the far left, you're immediately branded somebody on the far right. That's why I asked you, because certainly your leanings seem to be publicly a bit more conservative. But I was going to bet money that you would have said what you just said. I don't know about that, it's none of your business, but it would have been like, hey, look, I don't know, like common sense. What's right? Both parties have the same thing. I just think blind loyalty to one side is weakness and stupidity.
Right, and I think that we're all going to have our leanings, and there's certain issues, that are very personal. It's interesting. I got an invitation at the last second last week to go to the Republican debate in Milwaukee, and I'm unemployed and I had a free Wednesday, so I said, sure. Well, I've never been anything like that, and I wanted to look at it from the journalist perspective, as the moderators and the hosts with Brett Baer and Martha McCallum, and then I like to watch the body language. And as we're all making these decisions here with an upcoming election, I wanted to watch each one of them when the cameras weren't on them, So that's why I went, and I had a blast. If I got an invitation to go to any debate on the Democrat side, I would absolutely go to that one too. I think it's so important to fully educate yourself, and then to not be shamed for your decisions from there. I've never ever, publicly said it to anybody who I vote for, because I just don't think it matters. And then what happens? Unfortunately, people are so small-minded that then they put you in that box that you referred to, and then they say, oh, forget it. And they won't even listen if you have a question about something else. And then the conversation stops. And that's kind of what breaks my heart, because we got to keep having those conversations, even if they're uncomfortable. But it's all about the way that we do it. So isn't it sad, though, to just truly take sides? If you have an opinion on one issue and that means you're this. I mean, I love people that are like, oh, yeah, she's going to Fox News and she's this. And I'm like, really? But I'm used to it now. I find it kind of comical, don't you?